Okay, so this is the Jaktkit KNV2, their military version. It's a military version because it's essentially black and it is slightly thinner towards the tip, I noticed, in my original KNV2. And the steel is this 99 CR18 MOV. Now that's a proprietary steel made by Ahonest steel in China. Now what's important to me is I've had, this is a relatively new knife for me, this one here, but I've had my original KNV2 made out of the same steel, except it's got a, you know, shiny blade on it for the last couple of years. And Jaktkit is a relatively new company on the scene making knives. You know, they supply a lot of different hunting things and they get these knives made. And what's important for me is quality control. So 2 years after using my original Jaktkit, and then this comes along too, what kind of quality control? Do I see the same quality that I saw 2 years ago? And the answer to that is yes. TPEE handle, this polymer handle, they're well made. They're put on the tang of the knife very well. They're not coming off. It's the handle's not degrading. The blade really keeps its sharpness. And here's some meat. I like to cut up this, you know, dried meat. The knife performs flawlessly. You see that there? Flawlessly for cutting things. So it's perfect for preparing food, whether you've got to cut up something, you know, like this, camping or what have you. Let's have a look how it also deals with vegetables. And that we've got some onions here. No problems with that. And these blades, they really do, the 99 CR18 MOV, it really does hold an edge. The other thing is I notice it doesn't chip. I've been working around down by the river here quite a bit with my original KNV2, and there's no chipping, cutting up dirty wood, that kind of thing. This very steep grind, which they call the V edge, is a very steep convex grind, and it really bites into the material, like they say, exactly how their publicity says, and that's important to me. Right, so let's just try it now with the tomato. This is a real test on here like this. Let's have a look at that. Look at that. No problems. And I'm cutting onto a hardwood block too. Been using this knife now for the last 2 weeks or so, and you know, it does a good job. Okay, this is a bit of hardwood, so the thing I like about the grind on these knives is that it really does bite. This is seasoned hardwood. It really does bite in to the wood. It's a bit knotty, and that's great, you know. Look at that there. Notice I don't have any gloves on. Very strong wood. This walnut, we're going to try again. Might have bitten off more than I can chew with such a tough piece of wood. Let's just see. This stuff just does not want to bust. Oops. Bit short. What we'll do, we'll start from the other end. It's really tough. This is very strong wood. Very strong wood. Total abuse. Total abuse. And the thing about the handle, because it's this, you know, synthetic compound, well, that's not going to break that because it's just too hard. That is too hard. But the great thing is, it's passed the test because basically the vibration in my hand is reduced greatly because of this formulation of material. I banged it up there a few bits there. This is still on the handle very well. It's taken a bit of a beating there. Certainly the blade, as far as impact test is concerned, has passed any impact test, telling me that's a pretty secure, strong blade on there. It's just, that is total abuse. This walnut is extremely strong wood. This is a job for an axe for such a small knife, but the knife has not become damaged. Let's have a look at that there. No chips on the blade, of course, and certainly as far as tests are concerned, you know, batoning for me is really an impact test that the blade has no faults in it. All right, let's move on. Right, this is the same block of walnut. See that? Okay, so clearly this knife, the construction, it's very tough in terms of what toughness means for steel. That's for sure. Now I want to talk about, you see me bolt the daylights out of it there. I want to talk about the scabbard. This is the scabbard it comes in. You see that there? I won't do that up because I want to show you it's rattle proof, right? It's not rattling inside of there. You see that? And that's good. This one's marketed towards the military. And what's important is that the knife doesn't rattle. You certainly don't want to be giving yourself away by having a rattling knife making a lot of noise. You can't hear other things too if the knife is rattling around in the scabbard and it's securely held in there. In fact, I don't even really use this snap on here sometimes. This is a safety thing here to hold the knife in totally. You've got an adjustable belt loop here. You can stick this through, you know, some molly loops or whatever on the pack. On your belt, you can totally adjust that there with the Velcro, or you can strap it here with these slots in the Kydex here. But anyway, let's have a look at, listen to this. Here we go. You see, except for that sound, you know, it's silent. Good grip on there. Right, silent insertion and removal. And that's what you want, okay, on there. So the scabbard, it's just as well made as my original one. I don't see anything different with the quality of it. The only difference is now with this KNV2, it came with a little bit of orange paracord. I like that idea on that because this is a knife that if you were so to put it down in the dark somewhere, you know, soldiers are trained not to put down their knives in the dark and leave them without reholstering them, but reinsertion in the scabbard. But civilians generally aren't trained for that, and so they might lose it. So if you buy this as a civilian, you know, if you put that down, that's going to help you find this thing, locate it. If your hands are all greasy, you put it down for a minute after you've been gutting an animal, preparing an animal, and what have you. You might lose it in the dark, but not with this bit of orange paracord. I do this to my knives anyway on there, but yeah, it came with that bit of orange paracord. So what to say? There you go there, your Jaktkit KNV2 with the blackened version on there, non-reflective coating on this blade. All I can say is that the quality control certainly appears to be there. This knife, you know, can take a beating working on dirty wood, chopping things. Let's just have a look here. Can you see here into this here? Let's do a couple of, you know, plunge tests in here. Like this in this dirty wood, you can see that there. This is softwood, but it's all rotten. But the thing is, it's filthy, you know. And we've been cutting up things on it too, and doing all sorts of stuff, and it hasn't, you know, worn the sharpness down whatsoever. That's still sharp on there. But the thing about it is, it's easy to field dress. You know, I just lap this like this on some wet and dry paper, carborundum paper, to keep the edge on it. And I have had to touch the edge up over the last couple of weeks. Of course I have. You know, I've been working a lot with the knife. If you don't do much with the knife, well, that's you don't need to do that. But I really use them, and yeah, it's kept the pace. So there you go. I'm pleased with the quality I see from this company 2 years on. Your Jaktkit KNV2. Bush Camping Tools here. Thanks for watching.